Good afternoon, one and all. I'm Kiran from second year. I request all my second year friends to take the anti-ragging pledge with me. I hereby solemnly affirm that I will not indulge in any ragging activities or further pledge that I shall treat all my juniors as a part of the Shreyas family. I shall report any incident of ragging as it comes to my notice. I shall do all that is possible to make my institution a better place for learning and enjoyment. I assure the parents of the freshers that their wards would have a peaceful atmosphere.
Engineering and Technology, Mr. Vinay Reddy Garu, the Secretary Mr. Ravindranath, CEO Mr. Sharath, Principal Dr. Suresh, Vice Principal Dr. Maynard, Dr. Vishwanath, faculty members and my dear students. First of all, let me state that I am really very happy to be present on this occasion today, because to be honest with you, I never expected an institute like this to be so much world class. Really, I must tell you that it is not that I am here, I am saying that because only about 4 months back I had been to United States for a training program in Duke University, and there I had a chance to see 3-4 other universities also. It is reminding me of those days. I mean, you cannot believe that you are in India or in Hyderabad. We believe we are in outside India. And really I am telling the world-class infrastructure which has been created here. I just went around the classrooms, the library, the laboratories and the open area. Really it is a world-class institute which they have created. I must congratulate the trio of Mr. Sharath, Mr. Vinay and Mr. Ravindranath. So they have really created a world-class institute. But having said so, let me also caution them that creating a world-class institute is one thing, maintaining a world-class institute and attaining standards of excellence is another thing, which is a task, but I am sure with their capability and with the excellent faculty which they have, they will be able to attain that. Because here, let me all tell you, I mean, engineering education now in Andhra Pradesh, you all know, I mean, there is a lot of craze for technical education in our state. We have got 700 colleges in the state. Out of the total 3,500 colleges in the country, more than 700 colleges are in our state only. That means 1 out of every 4 colleges in the country is in the state of Andhra Pradesh. And about 3.5 lakh seats we have. And only 2 lakh students have qualified for MSET, out of which so far till yesterday about 1.3 lakh students have reported. That means more than 1 lakh seats are vacant. Though there are engineering colleges, seats are there, but about more than 1 lakh seats are vacant. That shows the number of seats are more, the students are less. So in a way it is good that a student has a choice to choose his college, which college he wants to go for. And then of course, I mean, colleges also different facilities are there, different infrastructure is there. But then as I said, this is one college which I have seen, this is one institute which is definitely very different from the rest of the institutes. Now first coming to the students now, my first request to the students would be, having got into an engineering is a good thing, you will be happy, your parents would be happy, but then let me again caution you, as I said, it is only a beginning of a new chapter of your life. Simply because you have got admission into an engineering college doesn't mean that your life is set, now you need not have to do anything. This is in fact the beginning of a new challenge which you have to face it, because as I said, almost in our state alone about 2 lakh engineers are passing out every year, about 2 lakh students. And then unfortunately the employability ratio, I mean, there was a survey conducted by CII and NASSCOM which states that employability, that means the number of students who are employable in industry, is only 15 to 20%. That means only 15 to 20 students who are passing out from engineering colleges after spending in 4 hard years of their life, only about 15 to 20 are employable. That means they have the necessary skills to be employed in the industry. That means there is really something really wrong with our education system, that despite giving 4 years of education, we are not able to meet the standards of the industry, the expectation of the industry. So I did some study as to why it is happening. I spoke to a couple of the management, spoke to some of the students, to the faculty, and then let me tell you how an engineering college, in some of the engineering colleges, what is the thing which is going on. I will just tell it is not happening in all, but in some of the colleges, and how it should be actually there. Now, in how it is happening in some of the colleges is, the student gets admission, okay, so then he opts for the college. For taking the students also, the management's promise, okay, you please come to our college, and if the student comes. After coming, the most important thing is, as you all know, is attendance in the college itself, attendance in the classes, when we go to the, whether we are attending classes or not. Now 75% attendance is what is mandatory, minimum. I mean, it should be more than 90%. It should be 100% unless there are, I mean, some medical reasons or some other reasons. But in many of the colleges, attendance is not insisted upon. So instead of 75%, a student attends maybe 10%, 20%, 30% only he comes to the classes. And then if a student doesn't have the mandatory attendance, he is not supposed to be issued the attendance and the hall ticket for going into the, for writing the exam and for going into the second year. But then unfortunately that is also given, attendance is given, bogus attendance is created. I am talking what is happening in some of the colleges. That is why probably what we are saying is only 15 to 20% employability is there. So a student gets promoted, I mean he gets a chance to write the exam, hall ticket is given without the necessary attendance. That means he has not attended the classes. After he does that, there are internal exams which are conducted. Internal exams also, the students do not take it seriously somewhere, faculty doesn't take it seriously, but because it is prestigious for the institute that students should pass, marks are given in the internal exam. We have certain cases where the mark sheet, I mean where the answer sheet of the candidate, there is some mark, and what marks are sent to the university, there is a different mark there. So a student gets passed in the internal also. Then comes the final exam. Now how to write the final exam? He has not attended the classes, he has not done the internal papers properly also, he has not understood the subject, but he has to clear the final exam, because unless he clears, he will not get the fee reimbursement also, and then there would be a pressure from the parents and from the management also, why so many students have failed. Therefore final exam also, etlaina copy chesi manam pass kavalsindi. So adi kuda etlaina, before last year, even the final year, even the final semester exams were held in the same college where you are getting studied. Now of course there is a jumbling is there. It was held in the same college. Therefore faculty used to cooperate. What they could not teach in the class, they used to teach in the examination center by helping the students. So student passes the exam also. Then comes project work. Now project work has to be done, which is the real engineering, because engineering is nothing but application of science and technology to the betterment of mankind. So now project work, he has not attended the classes, he has not written the internal, he has not passed, I mean real sense. So how to do the project work? Their institutes in Amirpet and SR Nagar come very handy. You pay 5,000 rupees and a real very good solid project work is available. A part of the money goes to the management, remaining goes to the institute, the project is ready and he passes it out. So without doing anything, he becomes an engineer, he gets to write BTech or BE after his name. He is very happy. Now what about the placements then? Naturally, as we said, if this is the state of affairs in an engineering college, this is the fate of affairs of technical education, no wonder we are saying that only 15% or 20% employability is there. Some of the managements have even gone one step ahead to see that the placements are not bad. Even the HR managers of some of the companies are somehow managed to see that some placements are given to their candidates, and after they get absorbed, they can show the placements. Later on, they are removed from the role. So even placements are also managed in some of the places. Why I am saying all this is one bad side of it, the darker side of it. May not be, it is definitely not in all the colleges, maybe in a very few colleges. But then my request would be, it is the responsibility of the management, the faculty and the students, and how ideal it should be, how it should be actually. Now I will tell the good side of it. Good side, now first of all, you have got admission into engineering. So first responsibility, I would say, more than the management, more than the government, the basic responsibility is of the student. After having, I am sure many of you would have passed out from Chaitanya and Narayana after spending 2 years of hard, your I'm slogging for 10 to 12 hours. I stay in SR Nagar, actually I know. So whenever I go back from the office, so many buses are there, and then early morning the students are going, and then late night the students are coming back. So 2 years of hard education brings you into the institute. So once having selected into the institute, so number first is, yes, we should be clear that yes, one thing I would like to make clear, of course, now that you have all joined, engineering is not everybody's cup of tea. Here in our state or in our country, I can say, unfortunately what happens is, we follow the line which others follow. I mean, immediately after 10th standard, okay, we will want to go for engineering. My passion may be for art, my passion may be for literature, for painting, but then because everybody is doing engineering, because of parental pressure, the peer pressure, I am forced to opt for engineering. And then engineering also, which branch? I mean, there is a lot of difference. Computer science is totally different, chemical engineering is totally different, civil is totally different, mechanical is totally different, electrical is totally different. Unfortunately, there is no system to tell the student as to what, or so that he can know where his aptitude is, where his passion is. Now branches are selected as per our rank, and the options are given as per the peer pressure or as per the parental pressure. So it is presumed, I repeat, that computer science or IT is the best, EC is the second, triple E is the third, mechanical is the fourth, then civil is the fifth. So it is presumed. It was there when we were students 25 years back, it is there today when you all are students, but same thing continues. Now who has decided that computer science is the best, or chemical is not good, or civil is not good? It is only the society, I mean the so-called society has decided. Actually, which is good, in which you have an aptitude. I mean, you may have a flair for chemistry, therefore for you chemical engineering is very good, or you get fascinated by the structures or by the buildings, you should go for civil engineering. But unfortunately that doesn't take place. So my request would be, I hope that you all have made the choice of the subjects properly, because unless you love the subject, unless you have interest in the subject, no matter how much hard work you may put, you are not going to be a very, very successful engineer. Let us be very, very clear. Unless we have a flavor for the subject. Yes, flavor can be developed also. It is not that if I do not have the flavor, I cannot develop the flavor. I mean, I may not like pizza, but by eating pizzas daily, I may develop a love for pizza. So same thing may happen here. But then you should have interest to learn, at least interest to work hard. So I hope that you all have made the choice of the subjects clearly for the first year students. For the second year students, now you must have realized, some of you I'm sure must have realized that I wrongly opted for computer science. My interest lied in mechanical and engineering. Probably you might have been realizing. But anyway, my thing is, having chosen the subject, one, you should have interest.